welcome back to 1851's Top Franchise Legal Players series. My name is Ben Warren, and I'm so excited to be joined today by Erica Tokar, counsel at Lathrop GPM. Erica, thank you so much for joining me.
Thank you very much for having me, Ben. I'm delighted to be here.
Great. So let's jump right into the questions. First of all, tell us about how you ended up specializing in franchise law. What drew you to the field?
Sure. So like many others, and this is sort of the most common answer that I always get when I'm chatting with folks at the IFA convention or legal symposium or other events, is I sort of fell into it. I was clerking with the Department of Justice through the Attorney General's Honors Program, was looking at joining a firm. I became sort of enamored with Gray Plant Moody, which is the predecessor firm to Lathrop GPM, learned about the firm's renowned franchise practice group, and I wanted to be part of it. But I've been specializing in franchising for quite a while now, and I think it's really cool work. And probably my favorite part of franchising is, this marriage, right, between mom and pop businesses and small business and local and the brands that you know and love and grew up with. I think it's kind of, it's a really cool combination, best of both worlds.
So what is your sense of what is the biggest legal hurdle right now facing the franchise industry in the remainder of 2021 and 2022?
So I don't think right now, coming out of this pandemic, we're at a particularly doom and gloom moment. I think things are looking up. I hate to say it, but I think probably still the biggest sort of legal hurdle is the continuing joint employer vicarious liability, employee misclassification, those types of claims. It's obviously not a new concern, but it continues to be present and significant. I work with a number of clients that are kind of constantly tweaking their business model and reevaluating their practices kind of in response to this issue. And, when the law is in flux, it's bad for business. So, I'm hoping we'll get some more clarity in the coming year.
So, Erica, you work primarily with franchisors rather than franchisees. Is there a common mistake that you see your clients, or maybe not your clients, is there a common mistake that you see franchise brands making from a legal perspective?
So my honest answer is too predictable, but it's not working with experienced franchise counsel really early in the process. I mean, truly, franchising is so heavily regulated, state level, federal level. It has a very robust administrative regulatory piece. It's just not Googleable at all. And the amount of risk that a new franchise company or even any company that has sort of a trademark licensing component to their business, it's hard to quantify the risk, down the road, time, savings, stress, all those things that you can really mitigate by working with somebody who's really knowledgeable up front. And firms, a lot of firms, including ours, they'll kind of do an initial package, an FDD and a franchise agreement, and even a compliance program kind of on a sort of a flat fee or package basis. So it's one of those things that you can really knock out early, and it can put your company in a really good position for growth for the future.
Right. So I mentioned you work primarily with franchisors, but if you were to advise a franchisee, maybe just a friend who is thinking about signing on with a franchise brand, what is something you think that they should know before signing on with any brand?
So sometimes I actually do get to put that hat on. We do a lot of mergers and acquisitions work. So where we're, evaluating a franchisor, or sometimes it's a multi-unit franchisee deal. And one of our kind of sayings when we're doing due diligence review is to follow the money. I really do think that understanding the economics of the business, the unit economics is key. And, we all know the franchise disclosure document provides so much information to prospects. The key is just to read it. So, take a look at those economics, take a look at the information that's in the FDD.
Pretty essential advice, I'd say. So my final question for you, and you touched on this a little bit at the beginning, but what do you love about working with franchises? What has kept you in this industry for so long?
So my favorite thing about my job is the people that I work with. And, the franchisors that I advise range from very large, kind of global companies to small, brand new startups. And so my point of contact might be a general counsel, it might be someone in the legal office, it might be the founder, but I just relish that relationship building with all of the players. Ultimately, I think franchising is about relationships, right? Relationship between the franchisor and the franchisee, between franchisees, between the franchisee and their client or customer. And I love being in the trenches, working together with the folks within these companies that are growing the brands and, becoming invested with them and, being a part of that growth.
Well, Erica, those are all the questions I have for you today. So thank you so much for joining us, and I can't wait to check in with you again soon.
Thank you, Ben.